What's up, guys? Randy with Ace Tactical. Today we're going to be filming my Staccato XC. I got the tuxedo slide. I'm rocking the Ronin Holosun 507 comp. I'm trying it out right now. I don't have too many rounds through it. And then I'm also rocking the antimatter wing because I'm giving that a shot also. So part of this video will be to get footage for these two things as well as I test them out. But the main thing is going to be my Staccato XC. I released a Springfield Prodigy with the Underworld Arms comp, and a lot of people thought I was shitting on the Staccato XC. I'm a Staccato XC owner myself, guys. The Staccato XC is 100% a better gun. However, for the price point, the Prodigy with the Underworld Arms comp is very nice. So that's the point of that video. I do like my Staccato XC better. Don't get it twisted. I run a slightly heavier spring because I am shooting Winchester 115 service grade. It flies at about 1300 FPS. So people say that's equivalent to plus P+. So I do run a slightly higher spring. We'll see if I can get an air rack going, and then we'll get our shots on target. Yep, we're good. All right. We're at about 7 yards, give or take a yard. And then we have another marker back there that's probably 3 or 4 yards further. So let's see, 7, threw one out up into the neck, dropped a couple low, but overall, moderate speed, wasn't super fast, wasn't super slow. Happy with it, I'll take it. Today we're going to be talking about the Staccato XC. So right here we have Staccato XC with the tuxedo slide, Ronin Holosun 507 comp, the medium Atlas trigger right here, Surefire X300, with on this side the antimatter wing. So let's go ahead and get into the review. This is a gun, probably definitely the most expensive handgun I have in my possession, and probably my favorite handgun. It's gonna be between this and my 19X. I really like the 19X, but this or the 19X gotta be one of those, my favorite handgun that I own. Let's go ahead and get into the review. Alright guys, so first and foremost, all the ammo that I ran for the video was Winchester service grade 115 because it flies, it's a really hot round. It flies at 1300 feet per second for a 115 grain bullet, and it's really fast. It's typically 115 I think flies closer to the like 1150 range, somewhere around there. Don't quote me on that, but 1300 is very fast for 115 grain. I do know that, and does a good job at working the compensator. So let's go ahead and talk about the Staccato XC. So in the past, I've done videos comparing like the Springfield Prodigy with different compensators to the Staccato XC. This gun is cleared, by the way. In those videos, yeah, I compare the Prodigy to the Staccato XC. Those are comped Prodigies. The recoil impulse, definitely similar. I would say the Staccato XC is an edge above almost every comp 2011 that I've shot, until you start getting into really like the actual true dedicated open gun 2011s. The Staccato XC is just a really freaking flat gun, likes to shoot fast. You guys will see footage of that. Comparing, if we're looking at like the Springfield Prodigy with the Underworld Arms comp or with the DSC comp, V8 ports, whatever it is that I have on my Prodigies, compared to this, if you take all the money out, this is a nicer shooting gun. A lot of people misinterpreted what I was saying with the Springfield Prodigy videos, saying that I think that the Springfield Prodigy is a nicer gun. It's not. The Staccato is there's just so much better craftsmanship going into the Staccato than the Springfield Prodigy. The Springfield Prodigy has MIM parts. They're not hand fit, all that. So the tolerances, everything is just better in the Staccato. However, when you take into account price point, this is like a $3,500 gun if you just get it stock out of the box from Staccato. So not the Tuxedo version, just the normal Staccato XC base model, completely stock, no optic plate. It's going to be about $3,500, maybe a little more if you don't have discounts, but $3,500 is what I would end up paying. So we're gonna say $3,500 versus the Staccato or the Springfield Prodigy coming in at about $1,100 to $1,200, and then you just add $130 for the Underworld Arms comp. Maybe get some tuning done to your trigger. So for less than $1,500, you have a very nice gun in the Springfield Prodigy. So that's less than half of the Staccato XC. However, if money is not an issue, then it's a no-brainer. The Staccato all day is going to be the better gun. And you just better quality. The one thing about the Springfield Prodigy, I don't want to talk about it too much, just because it's a Staccato XC video, but the biggest downfall for this Springfield Prodigy, in my opinion, is the optic plate always coming loose. You do not have that issue with the Staccato. I have a lot of rounds through this gun, definitely not as much as the Prodigy, but I do have a lot of rounds through this gun, probably around the 3,500 to maybe 4,000, probably just under 4,000. I don't think we're at 4,000 yet, but I've shot this at matches. I've shot it a lot just to shoot, and this is a gun I've had for a while. I just kept it off of the channel just because there was other stuff. There's a lot of things that I have that I haven't shown on the channel yet, just because I have kind of a list of things that I want to do in order, and we just got to the Staccato XC, decided to do the video on this finally. Pretty early on, so I don't know, probably like 6 months ago-ish, or maybe even longer, probably longer than 6 months ago, but Bobby Dynamite, homie of mine, also YouTube channel, Bobby Dynamite called out that once he saw my Springfield Prodigy video, he called out that I would end up getting a Staccato eventually, and shortly after, yeah, I did end up getting this Staccato. I ended up getting this one right here, the Staccato XC. Beautiful gun. There's not a whole lot guns on the market that can really compete with the Staccato XC. However, there's also not a whole lot of guns on the market that are around its price range. And really, once you start getting up in that price range, a lot of the guns, you're getting minimal return on investment. It's going to be coming a lot down to the shooter themselves. Let's go ahead and break down the Staccato XC, my particular Staccato XC. We'll talk about from top to bottom, go over the build with you guys, go over the things I like, maybe the things I don't like. Drop one. I mean, it still would have been a pretty good shot, but otherwise, drop one. Working our way top to bottom. Up top, we have the Holosun 507 comp, the Ronin. Unless you want the Dragon, then I can't even see the Dragon on that side, it's not there. Unless you want the Dragon, I would say save your money, get the normal 507 comp, unless you want the Dragon or the different reticle options that it comes with. I don't like a busy reticle, I just like that single dot by itself. So going back, probably would end up just getting a normal 507 comp, saving some money there, but I don't know, it's what, $30, not a huge difference. So that's the optic I'm running right now. I had the RMR HD on here for a bit. I'm testing this optic right now. I'll probably end up doing a video on this in the near future. I am liking it a lot so far, especially for the price point. In the past, I did stay away from Holosun just because Chinese optics, stuff like that. But really got to give them credit, very innovative. And they did a good job with this optic, especially it's just super, swiping is clear by the way, super big window, very easy to pick up that dot. You can tell it's definitely a competition driven optic. I'm not sure how durable it is yet, haven't stress tested or anything, but just firing thousands of rounds under recoil pretty fast. It's held up, any optic should. Cough, EOTech E-Flex, that optic sucks, doesn't hold up under recoil on a lot of the handguns I've shot. Ended up breaking, I broke 3 EOTechs, the E-Flex, when they first came out. Haven't gave them a second chance yet. But now going down, we'll talk about the slide. This is the Tuxedo slide. So it has that Tuxedo finish from Staccato. very desirable for certain people. Honestly, I think I do like just the look of a fully blacked out gun better than the Tuxedo slide. However, and this gun is just so smooth, you guys, that slide action on that frame, just very smooth. So Tuxedo slide, I do prefer it all black versus the Tuxedo. However, one thing that's cool about it, I guess, when I look at it, I kind of think of like the Mandalorian, the Beskar armor. This Tuxedo slide reminds me of Beskar armor, and that's why I just think like if Mandalorians were real, or if they were present in today's age, this would be their firearm of choice. Staccato XC with the Tuxedo Mandalorian Beskar armor slide. All right, guys, Staccato XC. This would definitely be Mandalorian approved. Probably their weapon of choice. I recognize this is very desirable slide. It makes it a little more rare, so that's kind of why I went with this, because I got it on a good deal. However, it doesn't affect shootability or anything like that. So if you just want a nice Staccato XC, you don't want to, I wouldn't recommend looking for this on the used market because it's going to be expensive. Just get a normal Staccato XC with the black slide, and then send it off if you want to get it a different color. If you want to get it Cerakote, if you want to get PVD coated, whatever. The DLC coat from Staccato is a very good coating on a stock XC. So if you want to stick with that, that's a very durable, very nice coating. And I like the all black look. My plan right now with this gun, I'm trying to buy an additional just slide from DSC Gunworks. Hopefully I can get a slide from him in the near future, a blem slide, or a complete slide and barrel, doesn't matter. The big thing I need is just the slide. And then I'm either gonna keep it black and do an all blacked out Staccato XC, and then just keep the DLC slide in the safe, or not the DLC, correction, the Tuxedo slide in the safe, while I rock just a cool blacked out look. Or I'll have the blacked out slide Cerakoted to probably multicam. I don't have a multicam gun. So I have an Arid multicam, the Glock 19X, but I don't have like an actual OG multicam. So that's one of my plans right now with this gun. Now let's work our way up. Nice green fiber optic sight, very easy to pick up if I wasn't running a red dot. Yeah, super easy to pick up. The compensator, pretty nice portholes, very large open port. You can see the compensator itself, it's that comp block. So the block is forged on the end of the barrel and then rides with that frame, rides with the frame. Does a great job at keeping this gun flat. This compensator works very well. No complaints there. I would say clean it maybe every once in a while. I don't, but you probably should clean it. The compensator stuff. I clean the gun because you have to. Steel frame gun, tight tolerances. Eventually, after a lot of rounds, it's going to start bogging down that slide, that cyclic rate, that cycle. And you're going to notice you're going to start to have malfunctions once it gets dirty. Now, I do run I think I'm running a 9-pound spring right now, and I think stock is 7 or 8. I'm running just a slightly heavier spring that tends to help with reliability. I haven't gone more than 500 rounds without cleaning this gun, just because this is the one gun that I do clean pretty often. So 500 rounds around there, that's when I clean this gun. Going down, we have ambi safeties on both sides. Ambi safeties, both sides. Very nice, very positive feedback, very tactile. If you were somebody that wants bigger safeties, I like these ones. If you want like a shielded safety, you can do that. I really like the stock safeties. Stock hammer is good. This is not the stock trigger. This is the Atlas medium length and very nice trigger. It's about 2.5 pounds. Very light trigger, very easy to run fast. Easily one of the best handgun triggers I've ever felt. I don't know, I can't really think of a gun that has a nicer trigger that I've shot recently. So just off the top of my head, I would have to say this is the nicest trigger that I've shot. Moving down, so if you notice my Prodigy, I do have the grip safety pinned. That's just an aesthetics thing. I like the look when the grip safety is flush fit with the frame. It's not a ergonomics thing. I've never had an issue depressing the grip safety when running the gun. Yeah, just coming out of the holster, I've never had an issue indexing my hand on the frame and getting that grip safety depressed. So the only reason I have it pinned on my Prodigy is because of the aesthetics. I do like that flush fit look a little better, but I just don't care to do it on this. I'm running, I don't remember exactly which mag release this is. Honestly, not a big fan of it. I'm gonna be taking it out, putting stock mag release back in. The reason I'm not a big fan of it is because when I grip the gun, it prevents me from getting my hand up high to get my thumb more forward on the antimatter wing, because this part right here will just dig into my palm if I get my hand too high, too forward on the frame. So I have to sit it back a lot and then get a bend on my thumb, and then I can still press down pretty well on the antimatter wing, but it's not as well as I could if I'm just up here, and then whenever the gun shoots, however, if I'm up here, that mag release is digging into my hands. And I guess it's nice not having to break my grip, but on almost all of my handguns, I break my grip just slightly anyways. So I don't have an issue with the stock mag release, and I do prefer the stock mag release. And then especially if I'm gonna be going to a blacked out XC in the future, I don't want this silver right here. I'm not a big fan of the blue trigger. That's just what was available. So that's why I got that. However, I'm gonna be getting a black trigger. One thing that makes this Staccato in particular special is it has that comp block barrel, and then I also have a sight block barrel from KKM. So if I want to run this gun, because right now, if you shoot this gun in competition, you have to run an open division because of the compensator. With the non-comp sight block barrel, it still gives me that island barrel. It's just non-compensated. It's gonna have a little more recoil, but then I can run it in limited optics. We're gonna go ahead and cut the camera. I'm gonna break down the gun, swap the island barrel in, and then show you guys that. I have the comped barrel out, and we have that sight block island barrel in there. So if we lock this back, you can see there's no compensator. It still maintains that island barrel look. This is just such a good looking gun. Such a good looking gun, such a smooth gun. And then it's versatile if I don't want to run a compensator, because I want to run it in limited optics instead of open. So there's that. I do typically run just a slightly heavier spring when I'm running the comp block. I'll typically run like a 10-11. So again, another couple pounds there. Just since I'm not losing back pressure because no gas is being dispersed up. With too light of a spring, that slide just comes back really hard, really fast. So with this sight block, I don't have a whole lot of footage. I think I have like one actual shooting clip. And then I have some clips from my POV cam when I'm shooting matches. So I'll throw those in and you guys can see the sight block in action. Okay. Last thing, let's talk about how you get the Staccato XC. You're gonna get a cool 2011 bag. I think it's supposed to come with Staccato XC like name tape thing right here. No, don't know where it is. But cool 2011 bag. You got a pretty large compartment here. That's where I keep just kind of like random spare parts and springs and stuff. Things that I need to change out on the gun if I need to make changes on the fly. So I have a lot of different recoil springs in here. different tools, whatnot. The Holosun optic adjustment tool, because that's the one thing I really hate about Holosun is their adjustment dial knob. You have to have a really tiny flathead screwdriver. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots for magazines. And then I'll usually have my other barrel, whichever one's not in the gun, whether it's the comped or the non-comped barrel. And then I'll just throw that in right here, and it sits snug with the magazines. You have this compartment right here that comes with 2 little Velcro straps to keep the gun in. So if I go ahead, open these Velcro straps, get the gun out, and then the gun can sit right here and right here. So now the gun's ready to go. The backer is Velcro if you want to put any Velcro patches on here, like I have US Army, and then another patch right there. But that's how you'll get the gun from Staccato. Very cool, nice little handy bag. That's one bonus, since I know people like to talk about Springfield Prodigy versus Staccato. You get a way better bag with Staccato than you do with a lot of other gun manufacturers, not just Springfield. At least Springfield, you do get a tiny little bag thing rather than those dumb polymer cases from like Glock or Sig. One thing that makes Staccato really great is they're the gold standard. Everybody uses them as comparisons. If you have a full-size 2011, you're going to be probably comparing it to a Staccato P. If you have a compensated 2011, you're probably comparing it to the Staccato XC. If you have a small 2011, you're probably comparing it to like the CS, the C2, one of these smaller Staccatos. And then the very last thing, this is just such a smooth gun. Staccato does a great job building guns. I know they're not on the level at like, let's say Nighthawk Customs or Atlas or SVI Infinity, whatever. I get it, those are much nicer 2011 manufacturers. And I also understand Staccato is kind of the entry level to the 2011 world. People like to say that like Springfield Prodigy is the entry level to the 2011 world, but really the Springfield Prodigy is more like a poverty level. Staccato is the gold standard for 2011, guys. That's all I got for you. Thanks for checking out the video. Do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Next video we're going to be releasing is the Monsoon Tactical dime bag, so those 10 ports, and doing a review on that Monsoon Tactical MMP 2.0 with the dime bag porting. I'll compare that to like the Lucky 7 porting because that's what I had prior. That's all I got for you guys.